Hello, Dad. This is Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. And before I go into the topic for today, have you joined the Dadhood Journey closed Facebook group yet? If not, go on in there. Start asking questions. Get supported by these dads. It's been a great start of things, and it's only getting better. And if you're getting value out of the podcast, rate and review in iTunes. That would really help exposure and get this information to other dads and create a bigger and bigger community that can support each other. All right? So thanks in advance for that. And today's topic is this: he's becoming a leader. Let's do it.
My name's Niko, and you're listening to my dad, Jay Warren. This is the Dadhood Journey podcast. Thanks for listening. Pretty good. Now can we listen to it?
Yep. So yesterday I had this moment of being able to observe my son playing at a play place. I'll talk about that in a second. And I really got to see some new qualities in him emerging. And the one I was struck by was leadership. You know, yesterday was our day together. We went to a place called Playwerx here in San Diego. It's like in a warehouse that they built this whole kind of maze thing. It's not a bouncy house place, but it's got all these catacombs and mesh making walls and everything, and there's like swings and, you know, bumpers that you go around and stuff. It was really, really cool. And what was even more cool about it is kids go in, they're playing. You can go in as well. So as an adult, I was in there for the first part of it, but then Niko started playing with all the kids, so that was even better. But it also had like a full like lunch bar and everything with gluten-free snacks and chicken wraps and Caesar salads and all this really, really good food. I brought lunch, so when it was time to eat, we went out to the parking lot to eat because there was no outside food available. So we just ate our lunch in the parking lot and then went back in and played for a while. Anyway, so Niko at first wanted me to go in with him. There were other kids playing around. There weren't a ton of kids. It was pretty empty, which is cool. But he wanted me to go in, and I kind of knew, and I know now about Niko that sometimes he just needs to like get started, and I go in with him, and then this is what happened. As soon as the other kids were around, he started talking with them and playing with them, and then I just left and sat on the mat, like in the kind of parents area where he could watch, and he was happy playing with the other kids. And what I was able to do was, you know, a lot of other parents there there was actually a mom doing work. She had her laptop out and she was doing calls while her kid was playing. There were parents on their phones and definitely parents playing with the kids, a smattering there. But I just was wanting to watch Niko, and I sat on the mat and stretched, which was really good. It was a nice opportunity to just, instead of getting on my phone and doing stuff that really wasn't all that important, stretching my body was important, so that was great. But as I was watching him, I noticed like he's become like a little leader. He was with the group of boys that he was playing with. They were playing chase, and then he started leading them around for them to chase him, and said like, this way, no, let's go here. And he's not bossy, which is really good. He just kind of assumed the leadership position, and it's something I was really excited to see because I like that quality. I like seeing that quality in him, and it's been something I've been working on with him over the last year. Back a year ago, maybe a little bit more, is when we started Niko in preschool. In our lives, with my schedule and his mom's schedule, and with both grandmas able to help, we have plenty of coverage, if you will, so we didn't really need to do daycare or preschool if we didn't need to, as far as, you know, daycare or babysitting. But we saw that on the playground and other areas, like Niko just was pretty, shy, I guess is what he said. He was just kind of standoffish. Like he'd be up on the top of a slide and other kids would come around and he would kind of stand back and look at them. He wasn't scared of kids, and that's why I hesitated with the shy. I guess he was shy. He wasn't scared of other kids. He just honestly didn't know what to do with them. Like he was around adults so much and not other kids. That was the reason why we said, all right, let's put him in place or in preschool so that he can be around other kids and, start getting more socialized in that way. A lot of parents do that, and we did, and it's definitely helped. I mean, he's way more, I've always said he's very social, but he's way more interactive with other kids in this last year because he's been in preschool and learning all those kind of things, and that's what preschool can do for him. But the leadership part, he's always been more of a, like if we're going out someplace, he won't go in first, he wants me to go with him. Or if he wants to ask a question of someone at like a restaurant or out someplace like that, he always wants me to ask for him. So I've been working on that. And that's something that I know of me as a kid. I was never that kid that wanted to go next door and knock on our great neighbor, super friendly neighbor's door and ask them to get the ball that went over the fence. And could I go retrieve it? Even though I know it was going to be a yes, I don't know. I just felt shy and kind of embarrassed about that. So that's something I needed to work on as a kid. And I just want Niko to be confident. And he is. And so it was just really cool to be able to sit and watch him interacting in a different way than he would have last year. And part of that is, of course, maturity. A lot of that has been the exposure of preschool and with all of us caregivers, mom and dad and the grandmas, like working on that with him. So it was really cool to see this little leader emerging in him. And I was talking about this with the mom yesterday. Like, it's not that I want Niko to be a leader. If he's a leadership type, I want him to step into that, but I'm not going to make him be a leader. I really think there's people that are leaders and there's people that are great second in commands or third in commands and lead by example and support a team really well. And then there's people that are more followers, and that's not a bad quality. A follower gets a bad rap because it means like you can't think for yourself and you're just doing what other people say, and that's not necessarily true. I mean, followers are people that support a cause and give it energy and give it the effectiveness that it needs because there's people like that are in the movement, So looking in the kind of leadership, what do we call like hierarchy or in those levels of things, I really think I'm like a really good second in command, third in command type of person. When I say that to others, like with my business mentors and coaches and other people, they totally think I'm a leader, and that I could step into that more. And that's something I'm looking to explore. Like even just, creating this group, I don't really think I'm trying to, be the head of things that people follow and do what I say and learn from me only. I'm wanting to create a supportive, collaborative group. And of course that takes leadership to somebody to step up and do it. But, I see in Niko a quality that is in that realm more so than a follower and a supporter. In this last year, I've seen more and more of that leadership come up, and him assuming that responsibility and that fun. I mean, responsibility of playing tag and having people follow him in a maze in a playground is not exactly what you think of in later on in leadership, but that's where it starts, right? So in other episodes, I can talk about what kind of things I've been working on with him. And if you haven't listened to the episode I did on the book Raising Men by Eric Davis, that book has taught me a lot, and I'll be talking about some of the things he mentioned there that have absolutely worked. But if that's something that you're seeing in your own kid, that they're a little more shy, a little more tentative, whether or not you want your kid to be a leader, having them have the confidence to be a presence and to kind of take ownership of their own space and be a part of things in a more confident way is definitely something I think will serve them throughout life, rather than being intimidated and not having the confidence to speak up or to have things go the way they want them to go. I think it's a really important quality. So until the next time, and hopefully on these next episodes I'll be talking more about those qualities, I want you to take good care of yourself, take good care of your families, and we'll connect on the next episode.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. You can hang out with other dads in our Facebook group. Just go to Facebook, search for the Dadhood Journey, and apply to get in. See you there, and see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Perfect.
Here we go, Dan.